We've got a pretty quick topic in general that I wanted to share with you guys, but an important one. So what I want to talk about is one of the features within Moxi Present that we have set up for you. So if you've been with a company since over at least over a year or so, you'll probably remember that within Moxi Present, we have all of the pages from the Blue Book and the Black Book uploaded for you to add to your listing presentations. If you're unfamiliar with what the Blue Book and Black Book are, they are our residential and luxury listing presentations. Now, you can order physical copies of those through the Schmidt Resources Marketplace. The brand new edition is all, they're ready to start being shipped out over the next couple of weeks. You can also always go to cbbluebook.com or cbblackbook.com. And you're going to see the whole listing presentation here. It's in a flipbook version. Looks great on iPad, looks great on mobile devices, looks great wherever you're looking to use them. So we got our offices, support team, online impact. You can see all of the cool things that we have in here. And then, of course, cbblackbook.com, which is the same thing, but it is our, I know I'm still setting up my internet here. It is still the same thing, but from a luxury standpoint. So our entire luxury presentation. So one of the requests that we had got a lot with these books is to make individual pages available in some way. So, these books are really meant to be leave behind. So when you go to a listing presentation, you can flip through it with a client, maybe take it with you, or maybe leave it there for them to take a look at down the road in their own spare time, because there's so much valuable information within these presentations. But a lot of people have said, things like this is one of the kind of the favorite pages of these presentations, is the listing syndication. When you list with us, here are just a handful of the websites that your listing goes to. And especially on the luxury side, here are all of the websites that you get if they're, a million plus. And this is the million plus page here. All of these international sites. Some people have said, well, I love these pages, but I want to insert these specific ones into a listing presentation. I don't necessarily always want to go through every single page through this book. So what we've done is we've added these pages into Moxi Present for you to be able to pull any of them individually, as many as you want, into your own listing presentations if you're using the Moxi Present platform. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So what we're going to do, I'm logged into Moxi right now. As you can see, just regular old JD and Moxi here. A little more put together than I am today. And from here, we're going to click on Present across the top row. So Present is going to take us, of course, to Moxi Present, the listing presentation tool. And you're going to see a bunch of my presentations here. And I'm just going to click on one from March, actually, just to edit a presentation. I don't want to go through the process right now of building a whole presentation. I just want to show you guys how to add these custom pages. So you can see this is where you'd put in your listing. This is where you would, you'd have to connect so you can search for listings, stuff that we've done before. But what I'm doing is I'm going to the final tab up across the top here. So I got subject property, search, listings, estimate, and then the final one here is pages. So pages is where you're going to see over here basically the layout of what your presentation is going to look like page by page. So right now I've got my cover slide, I've got Moxi slide 2, which is something I'll show you guys in a little bit actually, but I'm going to remove it for now. And actually what I just did is exactly what you can do on this page is you can go, this is great, but I don't really need this right now, so I'm going to remove that slide. I can move things around. So I might go down to the very bottom here and you can see my agent profile. I might go, hey, this is a great profile, but this doesn't make sense to have at the very end of the presentation. I actually want to lead with this information. I want to do my cover page, then my agent profile, then get into the listing. So if you ever want to do that, all you got to do is go down to that page, that agent profile tab, and then just click and drag. And as you can see, I'm clicking and dragging and I'm moving the agent profile right there to the top. So now I've got cover page, agent profile, and then we get into the property summary, if there was one, because again, this is just a test. So what I want to show you guys is where you can find all those Blue Book and Black Book pages. So unsurprisingly, what we're going to click on is this big button right here that says Add Page. Now I'm going through the steps for the CB version. If you're with C21 or our Sotheby's brand, and especially for C21 right now, those are also available, I believe, for your gold book. If not, I'm going to be looking at that this week to make sure we can get that up and running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do add from library. Now we're going to take a look at create new towards the end here. But the first thing we're going to do is add from library. And you're going to see all of these pages here. So the first tab that we're on is report pages. This is if you removed a page that you didn't mean to remove from your main presentation. So you're like, hey, I removed, let me actually just show you real quick. So if I go this listing location map, and then I accidentally take away listing overview as well. Two of the main parts within the presentation, you go, oh shoot, I only meant to delete one of those. If you go to add page and then add from library, these ones right here are sort of the main Moxi Present tiles. So they're right here. I could simply click add and add them right back to my presentation if I wanted. So report pages are sort of the standard Moxi pages. CBX pages is an integration with Coldwell Banker Corporate. It's not something we're going to look at right now. What I want you guys to take a look at is under custom pages. So this is the third tab right here, custom pages. And then you're going to see a few of them here. So my pages will be anything custom that you make, which we'll touch on in a minute. Brokerage pages, though, is where we have added pages here. So what you're going to look for is you're going to click on brokerage pages. And then what you're going to look for are black pages and black book and blue book updated 2021. Now the reason, so you're going to see updated 2021. You're also going to see black book and blue book. The ones that do not have 2021 are the previous versions, the historical versions. The reasons why we left those there right now is that if we remove those, it's going to remove them from anybody who's using them in a presentation right now. So if you have the old, support team page, and we take those out, it's going to automatically remove that from your presentation, and we didn't want to do that without letting anybody know. So we will remove those down the road. But that's why we specifically added updated 2021 to the folders that we're talking about. So look for updated 2021 and then simply click on either of those two folders. And then you're going to see every single page in the blue book right here for you to add to your presentation. Now there's obviously a lot of pages. As you can see, there's about 40 of them. That's why we tried to title them what they are. Now we were sort of limited in what Moxi would allow us to title because of just length. But if you click on, let's say, where buyers search, where buyers SE, if you click on it, it will show you what that page is. So you can go here, I can say, okay, this is the one that shows me literally where buyers search for homes, online, agents, apps, open house, etc. And I can go, okay, that's not the one I was looking for. Maybe what I'm looking for is the the by the numbers page right here. So I click on by the numbers and I go, the numbers are in. Ooh, I like this one a lot. I like how bold the text is. I like all of the cool stats that we can use here. This is one that I want to add to my presentation. All you have to do is go up here in the upper right corner and click add. And you're going to wait for it to save. You got a little green check mark. Now it's in your presentation. Simple as that. If you want to add more, I would just click the X over here by the title, and then I'd search for the next one that I want to add. So maybe the next one I want to add is, maybe just to click on another one, Why Go Digital. So Why Go Digital, customers are 4 times more likely to watch a video about a product than read about it. Okay, cool. Schmidt Advantage. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, same deal. I'm going to click Add right up here in the upper right-hand corner. I added it. Wait for it to save, and boom, that's taken care of. So I've added 2 pages now. If I want to go back to look at those pages I've added, all I'm going to do is right up here along this top bar, click Pages. That's it. And what you're going to see over here on my left where my pages are is that by the numbers page is here, and then the Why Go Digital page is right underneath it. So now I've added these to my listing presentation, and all I have to do is basically tell Moxi where I want them to be in my presentation. And that really is more so than any of this, that's up to you and the way that you give your listing presentations. So you might look at this and go, okay, I like to do my agent profile, talk a little bit about the marketing, and then go into the listing. Because I like to prep them with what I'm going to do before I get into the listing. You might also say, you know what, I really want to focus on the listing first, and then go into the marketing, because I want to make it about them. I want to show them what I have for their listing, and then I'm going to show them what I'm going to do for their listing. So these Blue Book and Black Book pages, or these Blue Book pages, I could simply just click and drag and bring them down here, because I'm going to say I think these should be towards the bottom of my presentation. So I'm going to move them down here. And so now I'm going to talk about my cover page, which is, hi, this is JD. This is your listing. This here is my bio. I'm going to talk about their listing a little bit. And then I'm going to end on by the numbers and why go digital. And if I look at this and I go, hey, you know what, this one, or maybe I have this one here, like this is one of the older ones. I go, you know what, this isn't actually what I want in my presentation. I don't think it fits my flow. Simply click the little X down here, remove, and it's going to remove that from your presentation. So now I've got 2 pages from the Blue Book right here within my listing presentation. I'm going to go through those steps one more time, but before I do, if there are pages that you know that every presentation that you're going to give moving forward, that if there are some that you always want removed and some that you always want added, once you've made that for the first time, so you've removed the pages, you've added the new ones, and maybe you've done some rearranging, if you go down here where it says Save as Template, this very last option, you can actually save, let me move your guys' faces, you can save this as a template moving forward. So I could call this like residential seller's presentation. And I'm going to save this to my templates. So next time I go in to do a listing presentation, and I click Save here, next time I go in to do a listing presentation, this is going to be the default structure for my presentation. These pages will be there, these ones will be rearranged, and that just saves me a couple of steps every time I go in to make a presentation. So if there is a structure that you know that you're going to do a lot, I would recommend going in here and making a template out of it, just so you don't have to worry about it all moving forward. So let me go through those steps one more time just to show you guys where those pages are. But like I said, what you're going to do is you're going to click on Add Page right across the top here, Add from Library, and then to find the Blue Book and the Black Book pages for CB, or for C21, the Gold Book pages, you're going to go down to Brokerage Pages, and then you're going to look for the Black or Blue Book pages updated 2021. So let's click on Black Book this time. And here they are. You're going to see all of the Black Book pages here that you can use. Like I said, maybe we want to use the syndication pages. So this is a great one. That's not the one that I was looking for, though. So I'm going to click on the X to get out of it. And I'm going to look for syndication 4, because this is the one that I'm looking for, is properties 1 million plus are featured on all of these sites. And that's what I want to show people in my presentation. So I'm going to simply click on Add. It's going to give me a little green check mark. You're going to see saving, and now that's going to be in my presentation. So if I go back to pages up here across the top, go down here to syndication, voila, there it is right in my presentation. Now, if it were me, if I were leveraging this or kind of doing what you guys are doing, I would sort of recommend having your residential presentation and your luxury presentation, because this page right here is not going to be relevant for somebody who's listing a home at $300,000 or $400,000, but it's going to be very relevant for people over $1 million. So having those templates ready to go that you can always leverage is a great idea to kind of a great way to sort of organize your stuff. So that's how you add those pages. If you guys have questions, please write them in. There's one thing that I want to show you, sort of a bonus thing quick, while I'm waiting for any questions to come in. If you click on Add Page right here, you'll see that one says Create New. This allows you to create your own custom page within your listing presentation. So you've got a couple of options. You can build a page, or you can upload a PDF. And for the purposes of what I want to show you guys now, I want to show you uploading a PDF. So I've got a newsletter here that is actually used with, this is a Moxi newsletter, but I have the PDF version that one of our agents uses within Moxi. You can see here, this is just a PDF slide, and I'm going to add this into Moxi Present. So all I'm going to do is click Upload PDF Page. It's going to ask me for the file if I want to. I'm going to click Choose File. I'm going to find my file, click Open, and Upload. Wait for it to load. and I'm now going to have this page in my in my library as an option for me to use. Now, while I'm waiting, I want to kind of talk about what I kind of see, and this is just my opinion, what I see as the purposes of these custom pages. The biggest thing that I can see these custom pages being used for, something like this. So this is obviously a newsletter, and you can see it, boom, just like that, already in there for me to kind of scroll and look at. The biggest thing I could see you using custom pages for would be using them to kind of show off your marketing. Whether that is a video, whether that is a slew of postcards or digital ads or anything, I think you could have a slide in here that is literally marketing examples, and you show somebody, you know, so this is the stuff, these are your pricing, these are the Coldwell Banker stuff. I also wanted to show you an example of the sort of marketing I do for my listings when someone lists with me. This is an example of a postcard. This is an example of an open house flyer or a digital ad, stuff like that. That's one way I can really see our agents leveraging the custom pages. But I've also seen people do it in a bunch of different ways. They like to throw the Coldwell Banker video in there, or one of the C21 ads. They like to throw in maybe an example of like, you know, an open house information, the kind of stuff that they do, maybe their own game plan. There's any, you know, a marketing strategy as opposed to just assets and collateral. There's a bunch of options like that. But basically, if you want to add your own custom pages, you can simply click Add Page, and you can create new. And then you can either build one or you can upload a PDF. And once you add those are going to be saved to your library. So if you ever want to use them again, I can go to Add Page. Now I can go to Add from Library, and it's going to show up here in my My Pages section. And you can see it's this top one right here that we literally just added. So that's what I wanted to show you guys today. I wanted to show you where you can find the updated blue and black book pages. I also wanted to show you that just real quickly how you can add a custom page into Moxi Present by either using the upload a PDF section, or you can go in and actually build one kind of asset by asset. You go to Create New, Build Page, and they even give you some layouts that you can start with if you want to.